Hey, how you doing? This is Sci Fiction from Red Bantoo. I'm in the studio with Leo Gortz.
Hey guys.
And in this video we're going to be talking about MPCs, how we use MPCs to write music and to play live. And basically we wanted to talk about the three kind of essential tricks that we feel help you write a successful beat. This is also assuming that you kind of know how to use an MPC and how to chop samples. So we're not going to go into exactly how you do every little thing, but just an overview. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is how to get a good drum sound. And the technique that we use is basically drum layering. And what it kind of involves is taking one kick drum and layering it with 2 or 3 other kick drums. And because I've sort of found that sometimes when I sample kick drums and snares off a record, they're really warm, but they're not quite thick enough. So by adding the extra layers, it tends to kind of thicken the beat. And the next thing you'll probably need to do is kind of tune it to the track. But the other thing to keep in mind, and this is what we do a lot, is try and sample off vinyl as much as possible. Because the thing about vinyl is, as opposed to digital, it's taking from a digital source, is that you're sampling an analog signal. Sorry, I can't speak. Sampling an analog signal, and the sound, the actual curve of the wave is like an even curve, as opposed to like when you zoom into a wave digitally, it's little kind of like, it's binary code. So it kind of really helps with the sound of the drums and the air that's in the sound of the drums.
And then on that note too, like just sort of, using that technique, you're also looking for good quality in those different drum sounds. So you want like a kick drum with a bit of bass. But then you want to also find another kick drum with a real sort of like hard hitting punch. That might not be as low, beefy sounding, but with those two combined, it sort of makes like a really, thick sounding kick. Same with the snares, you're looking for like a hollow snare and then like a really tight cracking snare, or even a clap or a click sound, and that gives it a real, cracking sound. There's also sometimes you want to take the tail end off a snare and layer that on top as well, and that gives it like a really nice bit of air on the end there.
Yeah, the second thing we're going to talk about is basically once you've got those sounds and you're like, yeah, cool, I'm happy with my hats and my kick and my snare, is then how to get like a killer groove.
Yeah, and that's one thing that you can, like the MPC, you can quantize, in so many different ways, and you can swing it as well, and it gives it a bit of a loose feel, but there's nothing better than just playing it naturally without any quantization on it all. Because like if you're just doing it on 16th notes, a drum beat might sound like this, which is cool. But it's pretty tight, it's pretty rigid, and could sound like a robot's playing the drum kit. So you might want to just sort of like drum it naturally and just do it a bit more loose. So like, and you just like making, like putting a bit of swing on the snare and putting a kick a bit later and stuff like that. And
yeah, I reckon it's really worth trying. It takes a bit of practice grooving more and having faith in your own groove, but it's worth persevering because it's how you get a killer sounding track. It really is. It, if you can try, or even if you use bits of quantize maybe on your snare, but your hats are unquantized, whatever it is, but trying to get things as natural as possible, that's how you get the killer groove. So the third thing we're going to talk about is sort of basically sample treatment. And when you grab a sample, what we try and do is we're into sampling, we're into looking for old samples and things, but then chopping them into little pieces and not taking somebody else's music, but taking a musical idea and making it your own. And the way we do it with the MPC is basically to go into your trim page. And so we've taken this sample here. So then basically we've assigned the different samples to the different pads. Chopped out. What it then means is that then you can essentially take those hits and make something new. Do whatever you want. So I think we'll basically play a beat and and get you guys, have a look, check it out. But thanks for listening to the tutorial, and check out our website. We're giving away free beats, and see you again.
Yeah.